What's up, guys? Welcome back to Golf Simulator videos. Man, do I have a treat for you guys today. I think I might have just found the best golf simulator projector for 2024. It just kind of fits everything all around. Budget, it's going to adapt to different screens, laser light source, 4,000 lumens. But the most impressive thing, we want to talk about DIY installs, right? I mean, we talk about them all the time in the channel. I have so many people that reach out looking to do a DIY home golf simulator. Well, this is not just a DIY home golf simulator projector. It actually automatically sets itself up. It doesn't even have to be square. Basically, you're going to throw these dots in the middle of the screen and this thing's going to set itself up. This is the AH700ST by BenQ. So we're going to do a full unboxing of this. We're going to set it up, show you how this thing automatically configures everything from sizing to even focus. It has motorized focus inside. It's just an amazing projector, and it's coming in the sub $2,000 range. All right, so all kinds of exciting things. We're going to talk about a lot of things as we do an unboxing here, and I'll even grab my list. That way I make sure that I'm not missing anything important. I just want to make sure that I always tell everyone all the different specifications, whether it be something that fits your space specifically or something along those lines. But let's just show this thing off first. So I love that it's laser lit. They call it maintenance free, the way everything is sealed in. It also is a lower decibel of noise from what I've found in most of the lasers. The reason being, I think the lamps can get very hot and they need a very loud fan sometimes once you're getting up there in projector lumens, where this is 4,000 lumens. It's native 1080p, all right, which is plenty for most people. I talked to a lot of people about 4K. I do run the BenQ AH700ST. Amazing projector, but we're talking about $5,000, all right? And then we're talking about, I believe the MSRP was $18.99 on this. I'll put my email down in the description in the comments, guys. Make sure you reach out to me. I'll make sure you're getting the best price, free shipping, whatever you can do. My partners will hook you up the best possible on this projector. So here's another thing. This projector is a smaller form factor. So notice how I'm just holding it with one hand. That's a big deal when you're mounting these. Now here's where it gets wild. I gotta show this off right away. Let's go up to the camera. See the front of the projector? See that camera? That's how it's getting its automatic setup. So you can see right here, right on the front of this, it's identified as a golf simulator projector. So they've done everything they can with this to make it as easy as possible to be the best golf simulator projector in a reasonable budget range, right? So on the front of that, if you notice, it says autofocus, excuse me, and auto keystone. Obviously controls, but I believe it comes with a remote as well, which will look in just a second. Shows that it's laser. I do want to show you guys the inputs as well. Let's go ahead and look at the back here. So obviously HDMI 1, HDMI 2, this is new. This is new connectivity. USB abilities to connect. That might be something that someone wants to do for various reasons. Audio out's always great. You can take it to a sound bar, or you can take it to a stereo system. The DLP is awesome. That's that 709 color that they bring to the table with this is really fantastic. That's going to give you that truest color possible. With the golf mode that it has, that picture mode, it's going to actually produce like a lifelike scene. They've actually worked with software companies like GSPRO. All right, yeah, there's the batteries for the remote. Got your manual quick start guide. And I'm going to show you guys part of the setup here in just 1 second, so stay tuned for that. So the golf picture mode, back to that, they've actually worked with the software developers, looking at what they're using and how to get the truest colors. So it's very, very cool that they've done that. Let's just talk about key features really quick. One more time, run them down the list. 4,000 lumen laser lit source. Yes, it's short throw. You do want short throw. You really want your projector, in my opinion, somewhere over the T-box. It can sit further back depending on your ceiling height and the throw of the projector, the way it's able to produce that image. This has a 0.69 to 0.83 throw factor. That should be pretty good, and I'll show you how it sets up in my room using the BenQ setup tool in just a second. Auto screen fit, auto focus, motorized focus. How cool is that? That's just fantastic. Messing with those focus rings, been there. It's not easy. You just tap it a tiny bit and it's off. There's that 709 color accuracy with realistic golf mode, maintenance-free sealed laser engine. That's what I was talking about. No messy filters or anything. Enhanced connectivity with USB-C and HDR, excuse me, HLG support, and then mobile Wi-Fi ready. I was unaware of the mobile Wi-Fi ready. Very cool. So, I mean, they just have all kinds of things that's really fitting everyone. And then it has the ability to do 1:1 or 4:3 aspect ratio without compressing the image, which I think is very important. Now, I'm 16 by 10. I think I read in here it does support that as well, so it'll be interesting to see how a 16 by 10 looks with it. But the fact that you can hit all of these different form factors is very important. They had a statistic in here, and I'll read this to you guys really quick. It's almost 40% of golf simulator users are at 4:3, which I have found that to be the most popular format, and it's just because you can maximize the height with whatever width. I mean, I'm at about a 16-foot wide room. By the time I put my curtains and everything up here, it's about 15 feet wide. Excuse me again, just battling allergies. I recommend 15 feet wide minimum in order to clear a club from the middle. And that's why a lot of people are running 4:3. They don't quite have that room. Now, let's head over to the computer really quick, and I'll show you what I'm going to do before I hang this up to make sure we have everything set up properly as far as mounting. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my computer screen where I'm actually at golfsimplanner.benq.com. And you'll see if I start at the top here, I put a golfer height, I'm 5'10". I'm using a ceiling mounted launch monitor. You can even show, it looks like it has a Unicore IXO mounted up there. You can select your units. I'm using feet. I have a 10-foot high ceiling, 16 feet wide, 20 feet in depth. Aspect ratio I want is 16 by 10. And then, excuse me again, the height, you'll see I have an 8-foot screen, and then it automatically knows that I have a 12-point wide inch width from there to make the 16 by 10, which it is. It's about 12.5 or so. And then I select the model, AH700ST, so BenQ AH700ST. Now, it does have the other BenQ models in there that you can select, just like I said, the LK936ST like I have. Then I put that I have 10.5 feet from my tee to screen, which is what I have. Now look at the dimensions it's putting out. It's saying that I can have this projector, all right, about 10.5 feet. You can see it's about 9.8 is where it's putting it to the front and about a foot down. So it's giving you these dimensions. It even shows where that ceiling mounted launch monitor would be. It shows you how far, where the center of the room would be. It shows that you'd maybe be off the ground by about, looks like about a half a foot, which I'm going to be a little under, but I'm about 5 inches or so off the ground with my ramp. So let's go ahead and get this thing up in the ceiling, and I'm not going to set it up. I'm going to wait, record, go through the motions with you guys with the remote. Let's get this thing mounted. All right, guys, welcome back in the GSP studio. We have the BenQ AH700ST mounted. I actually mounted it in the same exact mount. I used the same bracket. It only has 3 holes on it, only 3 screw holes, but I was able just to move it around, and I mounted in the same position because according to that demonstration you saw with that room configuration, it actually should work. It's basically just behind where my ball goes and just offset. So it is not perfectly square. Now, did I do a pretty good job kind of making it level and square to the screen? Yes, even though it tells me that I don't have to do that. But it wasn't as good as I thought because if you notice, this thing's crooked. It's not only crooked, it's extremely blurry. I'm looking up at my screen. I don't think it's doing justice how blurry the screen is. So obviously my focus is way out of whack. I've got buttons on the ground. I mean, we need an adjustment. But I have the remote, and I'm going to show you what's key for this. Right there. That is your auto setup. All right, now there's one thing I want to point out. When I first turned the unit on before I hit record, it was flipped upside down. I did go into the menu under installation and put it to front ceiling. So it's a front ceiling mount. The screen's in the front, it's ceiling mounted. It just changed the orientation. I figured it was one quick little step to skip. Now, you guys probably can't hear this, but I forgot to mention, there's a built-in speaker, and it's pretty loud. Actually, what's impressive even more that I talked about a little bit there is it's not loud. The fan, can't even hear the thing, nothing whatsoever. But it's really cool that it has a built-in speaker, so if you don't have an audio out that you're going to be using of some sort from your computer or from the projector for a sound bar or anything, you actually have sound. All right, now I want to show this thing in action. Now, remember, my setup is unique. I have a 16:9 monitor, 16:10 screen, and I duplicate them on purpose because I want to record a 16:9 screen because YouTube's in 16:9. Makes it tricky, but guess what? These BenQ projectors actually allow you to duplicate them. I'm probably just going to have to make a slight manual adjustment, but let's get this thing to autofocus and auto set up my keystone and everything, all right, and shrink the image down. So I'm going to hit that button. I basically can't even read it, but it says adjustment hint. If a screen is being installed to cover slightly bigger than projection area. Oh yeah, I read that in the instructions because I was checking those out. Yeah, so it's bigger. So, you know, based on the guide we used, the BenQ installation, and where I have it, it's bigger than the screen. So now basically I can just hit OK. I'm going to step out of the way so you guys can see this, and it's going to do its thing. Notice, yeah, I can barely read that. It's going to change the settings, it basically said. Oh, there's those dots that we talked about. And it's flashing, it's changing input. Oh wow, look at this. Press OK for manual adjustment. I am gonna do a manual adjustment. When I hit OK, but check this out though, so hold on a minute. This thing is, first off, crystal clear. Focus obviously works really well using those plus symbols and circles and everything. That's what it must focus on. And then I don't know how it's doing this with the camera. This is impressive. And I probably needed to hit that sooner than later for the corner fit, but that's okay. We can go back to it in just a second. Because basically, I'm going to show you why I'm going to do a little manual adjustment here. So where installation, let's go to, it's probably under geometry. Yep, corner fit. And then right here, what I'm going to be able to do, if you see the purple, I have more screen left. I guarantee you that my little old simulator boxes up there that cover my corners, it's going to mess this up, just like it did when I installed my LK936. But guess what? When you have corner fitting and you can just take it and pull it up exactly where you need to, you don't have to worry about it. And I also don't have to worry about it being in focus because it's an incredible focus. Like, I can't believe it can autofocus that well. Now, if I wanted to, after I make that adjustment, if I need to fine tune anything, I can. All right, I'm just gonna pull this up. Look how perfect, can you guys see how perfect that's fit? I'm actually probably gonna tuck in maybe this corner just a tiny bit. Look at that. I mean, can you see how perfect everything is? This is fantastic. Now, this is what I really want to do. Now that I feel like, if I really wanted to, I could adjust this just a little more. It's just going to push that out. I could push this up just a tad. Not too far, because when I do that, it starts hitting my padding on the top. I just have unique padding around it. I mean, that's plenty good for me, that's for sure. I mean, it's filling up my entire screen. What I want to do now is I purposely pulled up GSPRO for you guys, and I'm going to close this, and here we are at the Fold at Eastwood. So this is a newer course, all right, well designed, thought it would be perfect to use, and I'm going to do a couple things for you. So I'm actually going to start recording right now, and you're going to see the projector, and it is extremely bright with my light, so I'm just going to cover it with my hand. There's the projector and where it's mounted. All right, and you can see if I bring this down, right down there in the middle, just behind the ball. And now here is the image. And I'll tell you what you want to do is probably, if you're going to record like I'm doing right now, because this is DLP, you could actually change the frame rate. You saw how it was kind of moving color a little bit there. So now I'm not seeing moving color, but I want you guys to get an idea of actually how bright this is. Yeah, see, I'm getting moving color because I'm actually in a faster frame rate, a different frame rate than it actually is. So you're going to see just a little bit of movement there on that color wheel. I'm not seeing that in real life, just wanted you to know. But I mean, I have a good screen, don't get me wrong, but I think what's impressive is the 4,000 lumens. You guys have seen enough videos in the channel to see how bright my LK936 is. This is putting out actually really good brightness. I'm actually going to try to dim that down a little bit on my camera so it's not overexposing, and I'll actually go up close so you guys can try to see those details. So I got to get my phone to focus though. I mean, this is fantastic. Look how sharp, like if you use the numbers, it can focus easily on that. Look how sharp the tree is. Very, very impressive. And then what we'll do, you guys will be able to see this on the screen. I'll go up here to the menu really quick. I could use a hotkey, but we'll do a flyover just to see motion. I always want to make sure we can look at motion. Very smooth. That's key. You don't want to see, you know, there can be stuttering, flickering, anything like that that could come potentially from a projector. And it looks like it's just as smooth as my computer monitor. So, I mean, that is just fantastic. I'll pop through a couple holes for you guys. This one has a bunch of detail. So there's some detail for you. We'll go to number 3. We'll do one more flyover for you guys to see it. I am impressed. I mean, the AH, I'm pretty sure the A is for automatic setup. I mean, I'm just going to tell you guys, all I did is just take that one down and mount this up, and you saw me hit the button. I mean, that's how easy it is, other than flipping it around. Basically, you just go to installation, and then you just flip it to front ceiling if you're a ceiling like I am. I'm going to run this for a while. I mean, it's 1080p resolution, which is what's blowing me away because I'm so used to 4K. Now, don't get me wrong, GSPRO, I mean, graphics have come a long way. And I'm running the resolution in 4K, and that's another thing I'll point out to you guys. This accepts a 4K input. So it's taking my 4K and then it's downscaling it to its native 1080p. And so you can do that if you want to. But the reason that I was pointing out the 1080p earlier when we were doing our unboxing that was important was that you don't need some massive computer. I mean, you know, some of these new engines and everything, if you're going to be running 4K on your monitor, 4K on here, duplicating a third monitor with something else, it's going to take a serious computer. I mean, you're spending thousands of dollars, right? Well, when you're running 1080p, you can get something much more basic. You know, 3060 Ti will probably do it fine or something. 3070. I mean, honestly, most people are buying 4000s now, so I really should say this is a 4090, way over the top, but a 4060 Ti. 4050 Ti even, I think would run 1080p. Let me know if you need any help with that type of stuff. But BenQ AH700ST, I will fill you guys in with anything else that I find along the way. I think I pointed out all the major features. And like I said, even has a built-in speaker and everything. But setup is just fantastic. I think that's the key. That's really, really important, that people want easy setup. They don't want to, where am I placing it? Well, not only are they giving you the software to lay out your room, but they're giving you a one-button setup. And focus is so important, guys. It's so hard to do, let me tell you. So I love seeing that the focus is fantastic. So as always, guys, I appreciate you watching. Stay tuned. There'll be a lot more coming soon.